All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from the new Miami Autodrome. Nick Sorensen and Ellis Johnson are on the front row. Roman Berg and Suleiman Khan on the second row. Thomas Alderton and Simon Zierk have the third row. Mike Marshall, Bradley Lovings on the fourth. Jason Leonard and Jason Starr rounding out the top 10. Wessel Stevens, the defending champ, starts in 11th next to Harry Volsmere in 12th. And Dave Harris rounds out the 13-car field here this morning. Hey, good morning, Sketch. Hope you have a great week and a great Christmas. And thank you, buddy. All right, everybody is stacked up, ready to go on track. Well, I stand corrected. There are a few still getting to the grid, making last-minute adjustments. Oh, we always appreciate you, Sketch, and the Unicorn said thank you as well. Looks like the final driver, the final adjustments are made. And the pace car about to start rolling for race 1. Ellis getting the tires warmed up here in the early going. You'll note a few of the drivers. Adam Barker went through and changed some nicknames, so Roman is now the Iceberg. We're not sure if that's related to iceberg lettuce or not. We'll have to wait till Adam's back next week and find out. Pace car is in. Sorensen can fire. He does. He fires as they come out of the final turn. They are away. Green flag flies in Miami for the first time ever. Everybody diving into turn 1 side by side. A very tight turn 1 and turn 2. Oh! One of the new Lambos around Bradley Lovings. Ellis Johnson still right on the bumper of the leader. Roman Berg right behind newcomer Suleiman Khan, now up into 4th. Whoa, Mike Marshall is way slow through there, loses a spot. Looks like he lost some rhythm, but does recover. Wessel Stevens, the defending champ, already up 4 spots into 7th. And we've got a battle for the lead. Sorensen's in trouble. And Roman Berg has had a problem. He has taken it to pit road. Nick Sorensen overshot a turn. He has slipped back to 4th. And Ellis Johnson claims the lead for the first time. And the rookie Suleiman Khan now up into 2nd. And the other rookie, Thomas Alderton, now in 3rd. The rookies are definitely on fire this morning. Nick Sorensen trying to fight his way back toward the front. Simon Ziert is battling with Wessel. Wessel's already up and taking fifth. And Wessel had troubles in qualifying, did not score a time, but he is on the attack here. Whoa! Ellis has had a problem. He is going to pit road. And the rookies are out front. A wild start to this one. Let's see if we can look. See if we can take a look at some of the early incidents here. All right, taking a look at Bradley Lovings as he comes through. Looks like he got too much of the rumble strip. He goes around. Roman Berg coming through a high-speed turn. Oh, he missed the turn and clipped Sorensen. See if we can take a look down from the blimp at this incident. There you see the purple car of Roman Berg as they go off into the turn. He completely missed his braking point. Bradley Lovings also had a problem a moment later. Got another rumble strip and backs it into the wall. And Ellis Johnson, who had pulled out front, got the rumble strip, smacked the outside wall. Definitely a wild start to this one. And now the rookie, Suleiman Khan, followed by the rookie, Thomas Elderton. First and second, Nick Sorensen back up to third. Don't look now, though. Wessel Stevens sits in fourth. Wessel is marching his way toward the front here. Interestingly, it is a McLaren leading three Porsches, and followed by the BMW of Simon Ziert. The fastest lap so far is the Porsche by Harry Volsmeer. The track temperature is about 5 degrees cooler than what they practiced in. So the drivers do have a smidge more grip. Harry is closing in on the top five rapidly. Wessel has now moved into third, sets his sights on the rookies. Remember, Wessel had problems in qualifying, started in 11th, is up to third. And he might have second here. Wessel now to the inside. Wow, close move. No contact. Wessel takes second. The rookie Suleiman Khan has a 1.3 second lead, but now has the defending champ closing in. Harry Volsmeer now up into fifth, having just come by Simon, up 7 spots. the long straightaway toward the final turns, and Thomas trying to break the draft on Harry. It looks like Harry's in the perfect position for us to take a ride around with him. Going around this new track, you're about to see just how tight this place is. As they head off into turn one, getting just a tap of the rumble strips on the left and right. Then back on the power, down a short straightaway. Cutting as far in as they can through this little bit of a chicane. Trying to not go too wide. You see how easy it is. Cut back in. Then back on the power. And you see how close these guys are getting all the way around the track, trying to find as much speed and use as much of the track as is possible. Slowing down into the left-hander. Easing it around the turn, back on the power a little bit, then back on the brakes. Another little chicane. This track is so tight. We've only seen a couple of drivers kiss the wall this morning. For a brand new track, these guys are doing incredibly well, keeping them out of the fences. Down the long straightaway toward the final turns. The hairpin around to the left, back on the power just a little bit, just easing onto the final straightaway. And back across the start-finish line, Harry did that lap at a 156.86. And it wasn't even the fastest lap. Ellis has that at 156.08. Hey, good morning, JR. And while Harry was showing us around the track, Wessel was showing the rest of them as he has taken the lead. Suleiman Khan still holds on to second, Nick Sorensen in third. Harry Volsmir now up to fourth as we've got a three-car battle for the lead. Wow, that got tight. Suleiman backs out. And Sorensen is on the march. This is going to be tight into the left-hander. Wessel holds him off for the moment. Man, JR, I am sorry to hear that, buddy. Hopefully you guys get to feeling better quickly. Harry Volsmir has knocked the rookie off the podium. He just took third. When Suleiman backed out of that 3 wide. Harry looked to the inside, but doesn't dive it into that hairpin turn. And Harry to second. Nick slowed down. He's not showing a penalty, but he has suddenly dropped from second to fourth. Meanwhile, Wessel out front by 1.8 seconds, but now Harry's on the move. Hard to believe, ain't it, JR? Wessel Stevens and Harry Volsmir first and second, both up 10 spots, as Jason Leonard has had a problem behind. They come into that hairpin. Jason in the McLaren. Oh, he gets on the power a little too much. Smacks the inside wall. Nick Sorensen back into fourth. Suleiman Cohen has now moved into third. The rookie will not be stopped here this morning. Meanwhile, Wessel Stevens out front. Still has an almost 2-second lead over Harry. Remember, the top 7 will invert going into race 2. That'll put Mike Marshall on the front row for that second race. New paint scheme and new car this season for Mike. Interesting note here, it is about 3:30 track time and the lighting has changed a bit. During practice, some of the drivers came into a few turns blinded by the sun, but as we saw when we were riding along with Harry a moment ago, the sun doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. Wessel's lead holding at about 2 seconds over Harry. Suleiman at third, about 2 1/4 back. Nick Sorensen and Thomas Alderton not far behind. Simon Zierk back in 6. Mike Marshall in 7. Jason Starr up to 8. Dave Harris now up into 9th, another one of the new drivers. Jason Leonard has slipped back to 10th after his problem. Ellis is in 11th, but still setting the fastest laps. Last time by, 1:55.68. The rest of the field's going to be in trouble in race 2. Bradley Loving's back in 12th. Roman Berg still sits on pit road. Harry Volsmir appears to have cranked it up a notch. He is starting to close in on Wessel. About 1.5 seconds behind at the moment. Suleiman, Nick, and Thomas all nose to tail, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All 3 drivers flying around here. One mistake or one really good lap could change all 3 of those positions. Wessel coming down the long straightaway is lead back to 2 seconds over Harry. Seems like Harry gains ground through the tighter sections. But Wessel gains it back through the higher speed portions. Jason Starr and Jason Leonard have both had problems. There's Joe, too much of the rumble strips. He goes around. There's Jason Leonard. Oh! He cut it a little too much and goes around. Wessel still out front. Harry 2.1 seconds back. Nick Sorensen now in third. Thomas Alderton in fourth. And Suleiman Khan back to fifth. Bradley Lovings and Jason Starr have had problems behind. We'll take a look here in a moment. Wessel should be coming to the white flag. Here comes Wessel down the front stretch. The white flag flies. One more time around for Wessel Stevens. There's Jason Leonard coming through. Oh, he clips the wall and goes around. Then Bradley Lovings a moment later. Oh, he just overshot through there. And Jason Starr looked like the car just broke loose on him. Suleiman Khan has had a problem. Remember, Suleiman was leading early in this one. Oh, he gets down in the hairpin, misses his braking point. Meanwhile, Wessel has extended his lead to 2.5 seconds. And Suleiman Khan has had a problem with going to pit road. The rookie was looking at a top 5 finish. He'll now finish back in 11th. A heartbreaking start for the rookie. And here comes Wessel Stevens out of the final turn down the front stretch. Wessel starts the season where he ended the last one in victory lane. Harry comes home in second. Sorensen recovers to third. Man, what a start to the season. Don't forget, folks, we're going to race 2 here in a moment. Definitely in for a wild one there. And rookie Dave Harris will start on the pole for race 2. Meanwhile, Mike Marshall's tearing up his car, and let's talk to our top 3. Starting with third place, Nick Sorensen. Nick, it was a heck of a run and a bit of a comeback after you lost the lead there.
Yeah, I don't know what really happened there. Unfortunate. I think it was Roman that came and kind of swiped my front left, so I had some wheel issues there I was dealing with the whole race. It was definitely tough. Some good drivers out there today.
You definitely didn't see Roman coming on that one. No time to react.
No, I was in my turn, and all of a sudden he just flew past. Yeah, stuff happens. It's not a big deal. I just tried to battle back and do the best I could.
Well, man, you definitely had one heck of a battle back, and the rookies made you work for it.
Yeah, great to see some new guys out, and hopefully keep the numbers up.
Well, great job, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Harry Volsmir coming home in second. Harry, congratulations. Not only did you come home in second, but you had one heck of a charge through the field. And your mic's muted, bud. Harry, you got me? All right, we will try and get a word with Harry here in just a few minutes, but let's talk to our winner, Wessel Stevens. Wessel, you end the season with a championship. You start the season in victory lane. Not a bad way to start it.
No. Like when I had the bad qualifying, I thought my race would be short, but yeah, it went all my way, and I was lucky that Nick had a little incident. But yeah, that's racing, so I'm glad with the win.
I have to say, man, you obviously had the problem in qualifying and started back in 11th and came through the field in this track, not exactly easy to pass at.
No, yeah, you have some long straights, of course, some traction zones where you can make a little bit the difference, but those cars with the ABS, it's always very difficult. But yeah, let's see if I can repeat what I did last race.
Well, you definitely don't have to come from as far back. A heck of a start to the season, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, man.
Well, going into race 2, Wessel will start back in 7th, and some of the drivers out on track getting that pit road entry practice. I heard some of the drivers talking during practice. A very high probability that somebody, if not several folks, will end up with blank flags for pit road entry and exit. It is a bit tricky here. As always, folks, if you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for. And what do you guys think of the new track? It's been a fun morning so far. Still quite a bit of racing to go here in Miami. All right, less than a minute to go in warm-up. And, Ellis Johnson is parked backward in his pit stall. He's letting Wessel know he's faster and he's about to prove it. All right, folks, buckle up. It's time for race 2 at Miami. Jay Gleck cheering on Ellis. Here we go for race 2. Rookie Dave Harris and Mike Marshall have the front row. Simon Zierk, Thomas Alderton on the second. Dick Sorensen and Harry Volsmir on the third. Wessel Stevens, Jason Starr have the fourth row. Jason Leonard and Ellis Johnson round out the top 10. Suleiman Khan starting in 11th next to Bradley Lovings in 12th. Roman Berg starting in 13th. And Adam, if you're watching, you need to fix Roman's spelling. All right, everybody getting lined up. Everybody making the last minute setup adjustments. The most important one here is making sure they fill the tank. And Jason Starr is not taking the grid. Couple of quick notes. Wessel Stevens starting in 7th after winning race 1. Wessel came from 11th to get there. Harry Volsmir came from 12th to finish 2nd. But Ellis Johnson had the fastest laps of the whole race. Can he make it to the front? They are down and away. The green flag flies. Race 2 is underway. And I think things are about to get dicey into 3 wide. Whoa. Still 3 wide. And some of these guys are gone. We've got a wreck. Everybody survives. Harry ended up sideways. Ellis now 3 wide. Wessel and Nick right there with him. Man, it is a drag race. The Lambo pulls ahead. Ellis jumps up to 6th. And Mike Marshall is showing a black flag. Meanwhile, the rookie Thomas Alderton, who shot the gap early, is out front. Dave Harris in 2nd, but not for long. Here comes Simon. Oh, we've got cars off track and 1 damaged. Harry Volsmir has problems, and he is dropping quickly. Ellis Johnson has made his way to 4th. Wessel Stevens has made his way to 3rd. Thomas Alderton out front for the moment. Simon back behind. But Simon's got a battle on his Ellis and Wessel are right there. Ellis trying to get the run here. Wessel dives into the inside. Ellis is going to follow him through. Mike Marshall and Harry Volsmere have gone to pit road. Wessel now has second, Ellis in third, Simon in fourth. Harry Volsmere has repaired, he is back out. Mike Marshall sits on pit road serving his penalty. Thomas Alderton opened up a 2.7 second lead, but Wessel and Ellis are already closing in. And Dave Harris has his hands full. Started on the pole, he slipped back to fifth. Bradley Loving's already up 6 spots. And Nick Sorensen trying to fight his way back to the front. Roman Berg up 5 spots into 8. That top 7 invert going into race 2 definitely shakes things up a bit. And we've got a battle on for second. Ellis tries to make a run down the straight, can't get there. They are, however, closing in on Thomas. Now just 1.6 seconds back, and wow. Ellis is definitely going for it. As is Nick Sorensen, who has moved back up into 6th. Right beyond 5th place, Bradley Lovings. Loving started back in 12th. Bradley had a rough race 1. He's making up for it here. Ellis Johnson has the fastest lap so far, 157.17. That's not even his fastest lap of the morning. He gets clean air. He's likely to check out. And does he have a run for second? He's to the inside. Wessel able to power out. And they have caught up to Thomas. You know I'm going to steal that hashtag We Love Ellis and use it on some of the YouTube shorts this week. And speaking of, folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We put out about 10 to 12 YouTube shorts every day. Exciting racing moments and trucking chaos and whatever other craziness we can come up with. And don't forget, tonight at 9:30 Eastern, we are back the final race of the SMR 87s at Daytona. 220 plus miles an hour. That'll be fun. Alderton has the lead, but for how much longer? Wessel and Ellis are right there with him. Nick Sorensen on the march is out to 5th and is haunting the back bumper of Simon Ziert. Bradley Loving's now back to 6th. The Iceberg up to 7. Dave Harris slipping back to 8th. Suleiman Khan, who was extraordinarily fast and led early in race 1, had late race problems. He is on the march. Started race 2 in 11th, up to 9th. Jason Leonard in 10th, Harry Volsmere in 11th. Mike Marshall has cleared his black flag back out, but he's way back in 12th. And Wessel has taken the lead. If Ellis wants a shot at him, he's gonna have to clear the rookie Thomas Alderton to get at him. And Ellis is going for it now. He looks to the inside. Thomas slams the door. Wessel is on the attack, trying to pull away, but here we go. Ellis takes second. Whoa, Thomas is fighting back. He's not going out without a fight here. We mentioned it in race 1, but man, the rookies came to fight today. Ellis holds on to second for the moment. Now sets his sights back on Wessel. Haven't heard a lot about the new Porsche, so I don't know if the new Porsche has the straight line speed issues. But we know very well the Lambo knows how to do straight line speed. Harry has had a problem back behind. No, Harry gets too much of the rumble strip, gets it gathered up, gets too much of the next one, does keep it off the wall barely. Wessel out front has a 9/10 of a second lead. Ellis closing in. Thomas still holding on to third. Nick Sorensen in fourth. Bradley Loving's trying to reclaim fifth from Simon. Simon fighting back with Roman Berg on the bumper. They are going 3 wide. And wow, Bradley outbreaks him. Simon fighting back on the high side, but not enough. Bradley Lovings reclaims fifth. Oh! Man, Lovings got lucky on that one. He hit that turn hard. That Lambo was on 2 wheels for a moment. Wessel set the fastest lap last time by, 1:55.99. But last time by, Wessel ran a 1:56.86. Ellis ran a 1:56.04. He is definitely closing the gap. But Nick Sorensen now has the fastest lap of the morning in fourth, 155.68. Nick already has wrapping paper on the car for Christmas. I'm betting it'd be a great Christmas present to put it on the podium. Bradley Loving sits in fifth. He is up 7 spots already. Roman Berg up 6 spots into 7th. Suleiman Khan up 3 spots into 8th. But Suleiman Khan is closing in on the cars ahead. They continue to battle and he caught him. Oh yeah, and Ellis has caught up to Wessel. I think we're about to have a battle on for the lead. Thomas Alderton about 3 seconds back. Depending on how hard these two go at it, he may get into the fight. Ellis has the run. Wessel has the advantage on the inside of the turn, holds on to the lead for now. Ellis looking inside and outside any opening to make a move. And he may have it here to the inside. Not quite enough that time, but man, Wessel knows he is there. Thomas Alderton is closing in, now less than 3 seconds back. And Nick Sorensen just 2 1/4 seconds behind him. Sorensen still the fastest car on track. Suleiman Khan has caught up into 8th, and that battle ahead. Simon is pulled back into 5th, Bradley into 6th. And Roman Berg looks to the inside. He's going to get a 2 for 1. Roman shoots up to 5th. Simon, oh, Roman's loose. Simon pulls back into 5th. Roman still holds on to 6th. Wow, what a battle between these four. Suleiman just waiting for a mistake. And don't look now, David Harris is right behind us closing in. Multiple exciting battles going on right now. A new track a lot of these drivers don't have much time on. They are still putting on one heck of a show as Bradley Lovings has had a problem behind. And Bradley was right up in this fight. Looks to the inside of Roman, but gets too much of the rumble strip. Comes to a stop and loses a lot of ground. Ellis still sitting at second. Thomas just 2.1 seconds back in third. Nick Sorensen less than a second back in fourth. As Roman Berg goes for 5th on Simon again. Roman has the advantage as they go off. He finally reclaims 5th. Simon now in 6th, Suleiman right behind in 7th. Bradley Loving still holding on to 8th. Dave Harris in 9th. Harry Volsmere just taking 10th. After that early incident, Harry had to go to pit road for repairs. He is marching his way back up through the field. Now they will have to make a fuel stop at some point. You have to wonder, will anybody risk taking tires and losing time? Suleiman has had a problem. Coming down to the end of the long straightaway. On the power, snaps loose, does a 180. He does get it turned around, but we saw he lost some ground. Wessel Stevens out front, Ellis in second, Sorensen battling for third. Thomas Allerton holds on to it. Wow. Nick tries to cut it to the inside, but Thomas has the momentum. But Thomas picked up the slowdown. Ellis picked up a slowdown coming to the straightaway as well. Sorensen goes by as Thomas has to let some time go back. Thomas has finally cleared his penalty. Ellis has given back his time, but he is now almost 3 seconds behind Wessel. It has been a non-stop battle all morning. Bradley Lovings is the first to pit road. And he is going to take on tires. A bit of a surprise. We'll see how that pays off. Ellis Johnson in second, now 2.6 seconds back. He's already gaining. Nick Sorensen in third, 2.5 seconds behind Ellis. Thomas holds on to fourth, Roman Berg in fifth. Roman did say he's going to have a new paint scheme for us in the coming weeks. A lot of the league recommended a head of lettuce. And Dave Harris has had a problem. Dave has had a rough race. He started on the pole and broke away early and just pulled over. Not sure if he missed his braking point or what happened. Nick Sorensen just set the fastest lap of the race, 155.42, and Dave Harris is on his way in. Davis hit his stall. Bradley Lovings is still sitting on pit road. Davis taking on tires as well. After that incident, tires may give Dave a bit of an advantage. After Ellis gave back the time, he was over 3 seconds behind Wessel. The gap now down to 1.7. And Ellis is closing in, but behind him, Nick Sorensen is getting closer. Nick now just 1.9 seconds back. Thomas Alberton in fourth has slipped back about 3.5 seconds. Roman Berg about 11.5 back from him. Now, based on the times, the lap times we're seeing now, it's highly likely we are going to see a 3-car battle for the lead soon. Wessel is in. The leader is on pit road. Ellis will assume the lead. And it'll be fuel only for Wessel Stevens. Ellis Johnson now out front, clean air. Can he take advantage of it from here? Wessel comes back on track in 6th place. We saw this last season at Bathurst. Once Ellis got out front, he was gone and unstoppable. Will that be the case again today? And obviously Ellis has the biggest cheering section this morning. Nick Sorensen still about 1.7 seconds back. He is gaining ground. Sorensen is closing in. Now remember, the top 2 still have to come in. In fact, the top 5 at the moment still need to come to pit road. Wessel back in 6th, completed his stop, is closing in on 5th place Simon Zier. It has appeared so far this morning, that new Porsche is quite a beast. Ellis's lead now down to 1 second. The Porsche closing in. Mike Marshall has had a problem behind. Mike in that new Porsche. Oh, a little bit of a bobble. The car was unsettled when he hit the rumble strip and just smacks the wall. Sorensen has caught the leader. Oh, Mike Marshall is in the wall. He has gone to pit road. What in the world? It looks like Mike Mike may have broke something when he hit the wall a moment ago. And he towed it to pit road. Ellis Johnson is in for his stop. And it's fuel only for Ellis. Nick Sorensen now in the lead. Wessel now up into fifth, or into fourth rather. Ellis comes off pit road in fifth, about 2 1/4 seconds back. Meanwhile, Nick Sorensen up front with clean air. Thomas Alderton now in second, Simon in third. The top three have not been to pit road yet. Oh! Wessel overshot that turn in a big way. And Ellis took advantage. He is close to now within 1.7 seconds. Nick Sorensen continuing to stay out. He is going to stretch that fuel as far as he can while he's got clean air. Thomas Alderton gives up second. He is on pit road. And it looks like it's going to be fuel only for Thomas. This may very well come down to how far ahead Nick Sorensen can get before he goes to pit road. Simon Zierk still hasn't been in second. Wessel and Ellis are closing in on second place. And Ellis is closing in on Wessel, now just 1.4 seconds back. Harry Volsmeer now into fifth. However, he still has to make a stop. He's been to pit road once early on. Thomas Alberton in sixth, Roman Berg in seventh. Dave Harris up to eighth, Suleiman Khan up to ninth. Jason Leonard in 10th. Mike Marshall currently in 11th. Suleiman has had a problem and going to pit road. Suleiman, oh, he just breaks loose. Backs it hard into the wall. Ellis Johnson still about 1.8, 1.7 seconds behind Wessel. They're both about 27 seconds behind Nick. Nick has not been to pit road. Wessel Stevens, Ellis Johnson's pit stops the entire time on pit lane was about 33 to 34 seconds. However, if Nick stretches it to have need less of a fuel load, he could have a shorter stop. Nick definitely needs to make up as much ground as possible to maintain the lead. But Wessel Stevens and Ellis Johnson in second and third, they are trying to close that gap. And here we go, Sorensen gives up the lead. He is on pit road. This is likely to be a fuel-only stop. And yes, it is. The car does not go up. It'll be fuel only. Wessel and Ellis coming through. Sorensen on his way out. Wessel gets by. Wait a minute, Nick comes out with the lead by inches. Wessel, though, right on him, he's going for it, and here comes Ellis. Side by side, Wessel pulls ahead for the moment. Nick is not going to take that. Oh, Nick goes wide. Ellis almost had the run for second. The top three within 0.8 of a second. If nobody makes a mistake, in the next 15 minutes, this is going to be a close battle. Question is, does Wessel have any shot of pulling away from Nick and Ellis? I find it unlikely, but you never know. Thomas Alderton sitting back in fourth, about 11.5 seconds back. He's just hoping these guys go 3 wide at some point. He'll be able to close that gap quickly. He has been fast all morning. One, 2, and 3, still nose to tail. Suleiman calling is back on track, but has picked up a black flag. Roman Berg back in fifth. Simon in sixth is closing in on Roman. Harry in seventh closing in on both. Dave Harris currently in eighth. Jason Leonard in ninth. Suleiman in 10th. Mike Marshall back in 11th. Bradley Lovings is out of the race. And Ellis is hunting for an opening on Sorensen. Nick Sorensen looking for an opening on Wessel. And, whoa, Nick looked like he was going to try and make the move onto the front stretch. Couldn't quite get the position, though. Ellis still right there with them in third. All three within 1 second of each other. More importantly, for second and third, they are all within their slipstreams. Whoa, close call for Sorensen there. Nick and Wessel, despite being in the same car, are taking significantly different lines around the track. Nick tried to make the attack to the outside on Wessel, wasn't enough. Ellis just lurking, waiting for one of them to make a mistake. Ellis came on board into NSS last season, has put on quite a show, winning multiple races, but interestingly enough, has not garnered a nickname yet. Have to wonder when Adam Barker will get around to that. Folks, don't forget, this race will be on YouTube later this afternoon in 4K. And watch this epic battle once again. Ellis losing a little bit of ground now, 1 second behind the Porsches ahead. Does appear the new Porsche does have some straight line speed. That was the biggest weakness in the old one. Well, that and the old one was actively trying to kill you. Ellis has had a problem behind. Ellis was definitely pushing it, trying to get up there. Oh, he cut the corner. We saw that happen multiple times here today. Just cut that corner, clip the concrete, and it sends you around. Wessel and Nick still battling. Ellis now 12.3 seconds back. Hoping the top two make a mistake. Wow. And Wessel almost did. You have to wonder if he realized, just because that's the closest he's ever been to that wall, they have to push as close to the wall as possible, but you always give yourself a couple inches. Wessel's giving himself the width of a paper. Nick Sorensen, oh, I think Wessel may have kissed that wall. Sorensen just waiting for him to make a bigger mistake. Lap traffic ahead, Jason Leonard. Nope, Suleiman Collin just ahead. Thomas Alderton still holding on to fourth. Roman Berg at the Belmont, the biggest mover of the morning, up 8 spots into fifth. Harry Volsmir still holding on to sixth. Simon in seventh. Dave Harris in eighth. Jason Leonard in ninth. Mike Marshall back up into 10th. Suleiman Khan currently in 11th. Wow. I think Wessel may have gotten the wall and gotten bounced off of it that time. I didn't see any marks on the right side of the car, but... And here we go. Sorensen looks. No, he doesn't make the move. Now he's going to try it to the outside. He's been trying to make the outside into that turn, giving him the inside into the next turn. Just hasn't had the momentum yet. Ellis there in the back of the shot, trying to close that gap. But Ellis now 15 seconds behind the leaders. With just a few laps left to go, Nick Sorensen has got to make a move soon. And you know Wessel is watching the mirror closely. Nick staying right on his bumper. You know that next set of turns, he's going to try and set up the move. And there he goes. And he may have it this time. Sorensen to the inside. Oh! Wessel crosses over. And Wessel retakes the lead. Ellis gained a little ground in that exchange, but not a lot. But Wessel opened up the gap to Nick by about 1.1 seconds. And fourth place, Thomas Alderton just picked up a slowdown. Roman Berg currently in fifth, about 16 and a half seconds back. Nick is reeling him back in. we can see that pass again from the blimp. No, the blimp is in a terrible position. And there goes Nick to the inside, but gets on the brakes to make the turn Wessel anticipated and slides back by. Ellis just about 15 seconds behind at the moment. Nick maybe trying to make the move here into the hairpin. He can make it to the outside. Didn't have the run to... Oh, no! Wessel's around! Nick Sorensen to the lead after Wessel does a donut. And the white flag flies. Whoa, Wessel's in the wall. What just happened? Let's take a look at this. Nick sets up to the outside on Wessel. Wessel powers out of that turn, goes around. Gets the car rolling again. And the car just snaps loose as he comes onto the front stretch. Wow. Wessel has taken it to pit road. Ellis Johnson now to second. And that was probably the most dramatic moment of the morning. After Wessel dominated race 1, led most of race 2, but is now on pit road. Sorensen out front by 14.8 seconds. Ellis is closing on Nick, but it won't be enough. Man, what a wild final lap. Miami has not disappointed as Nick Sorensen gets it done and wins race number 2. Ellis Johnson comes back to finish in second. And the rookie Thomas Alderton pulls off third. And let's see if we can get our top word with our top 3, starting with the rookie. Hey, Thomas is dug up in the booth. You're muted at the moment, but a great finish in your rookie start.
Yeah, cheers for that. Yeah, it's not bad. First go.
Yeah, you definitely had a ton of speed. You were leading some of this race, and man, you gained a lot of ground this morning. Overall, over the course of both races, it's definitely great to see you out there.
Yeah, thanks. It's I don't know, beginner's luck. I've not driven this track much.
I don't think anybody has, and man, a great job this morning. Congratulations, buddy.
Cheers for that.
Ellis Johnson coming home in second. Ellis, dude, you put on a show this morning.
Oh my god, that was so much fun. Yeah, we had such a good battle between Wessel and I early on.
Nick just had to show up and ruin it, didn't he?
I know, right? We were talking mid-race. We were like, yeah, we just lost 3 seconds to Nick. We might be a little screwed here.
Well, man, it was definitely a heck of a battle. A lot of back and forth. Plus, you had the biggest fan club of the morning, and hashtag We Love Ellis will start trending, I'm sure.
Oh my god. It was really fun. Shout out, I think the rookie got P3, right?
He did, yeah.
Dude, that was fun. That was a good race. I'm happy with that.
Well, great job this morning. Congratulations. An awesome way to start the season, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, our winner, Nick Sorensen. Nick, Ellis, and Wessel were having a great battle early on. You showed up and ruined it, and man, what a finish.
What a race, man. Yeah. Trying to get through the traffic there at the beginning, so I was able to do that and get that done. And just Wessel and I, oh, what a battle there. I don't know if I'd have been able to take him over had he not spun out on that last turn.
It was definitely going to be close when you were, every time we saw you setting up into turn, I believe 11, you would set up to the outside trying to get the inside into 12. And man, you guys went back and forth there so much. I don't know if you could have done it again, but what a finish. And then he just completely loses it.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. And I bumped him a little bit. Didn't mean to. I tried to check up. But yeah, I was definitely trying to set up a move. Just didn't know where to do it. And then anytime I tried, I wasn't able to get it done. So, yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Happy for the win. But great race by Wessel.
And I do have to ask, you got past him at one point late in the race, and you just managed to shoot by him. But into the turn, you overshot it, had to get it looked like you had to get on the brakes, and he was able to cut under you and take the lead back.
Yeah, that was classic. I was just trying to outbrake him there, and then overcooked it. And then the outside car, all they have to do is just kind of ease into their braking zone, and they can undercut you real easy. So he pulled that off perfectly. But I was trying everything I could. Couldn't get it to work there until the end.
Well, man, a heck of a job. Congratulations. A great way to start your season, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
Wow, what a race, folks. If you missed any of it, it will be on YouTube here in a few hours, and it'll be in 4K. You can see all of last season in 4K as well on our YouTube channel, and we'll have the shorts out over the next few days from today's race. Everybody, thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget tonight, 9:30 Eastern, the SMR 87's season finale at Daytona. That's going to be a wild one. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, everybody.